Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you guys are.
Hey, everybody.
Now, in today's video, we're going to have a bit of a heart to heart and just go over some stuff. Okay. We want to just chat today.
We're just going to chat today. It's going to be a little different than the usual, the
Right.
usual. Just because, sometimes you're going along in life and then life just smacks you in the face and you're just like, okay, it's like telling you to pay attention, wake up. You haven't been paying attention. It's like, cause we lost a good friend of ours this week and, in the business, but also our friend, our
Mhm.
family. Right. And so, it's interesting because along with that for me, there's also another session I was on with one of my mentors where there were some things that were being talked about that day as well that kind of hit home for me. And then this happened. And so it's just, it's like one of those weeks, right? It's like,
Yeah.
um, but when we do have loss, of life and family and friends and people that we care about, it sometimes it's a reminder, I think, or we can how we react to it can be in a positive way that is a reminder that life is short and we don't have all the time in the world that we thought we did, right? To go after what we're trying to go after, whether it's time with our family or whatever. It's like, well, I'll do it next week, I'll do it next month, I'll wait till 2000 or 2022, right? To get
Right.
started, or I'll wait till this particular crisis ends at my job and then I'll get going working on my freedom goals, because at the end of the day, I think, because this is just no opinion of mine, whether it's, you want more time with your family, or you have a specific income goal, or you want to take a particular vacation, or you want to retire, it's really just about the freedom to choose those things, is what most of us are pursuing. And I think also, sorry, I missed call. Um, I think also too, we have to be careful while we're pursuing these things that we don't forget that life is happening today as far as our loved ones go, and I mean, we're all have been guilty of that from one time, whether you're brand new and you're just starting in your network marketing business. And again, I don't know why I've got a little weird thing going on with my background today. Or seven-figure earners. I've watched seven-figure earners who look like they're living the life in social media, but all they're doing all day long is they're on the phone all
Yep.
day long doing three-way calls, which is not the lifestyle that I'm looking for. So, just remembering that we also have to kind of have I hate using the word balance just because life is life and it
Right.
all interacts. Like your health, it affects your finances, and your finances affect your health, and all these things that are going on are really kind of all happening at the same time. But for me anyway, because of we lost Howie this week, and this other conversation was having on another Zoom about sometimes it's not about more money, it's about making sure that you are happy,
Right.
as well. So because we were discussing how there are things that can be done that could create, just we were talking about a specific situation that I'm not going to get into because it was a private call, but about more money being offered for certain things, and that along with that more money came a really high level of stress and a very and more time away from family and things like that. So it's like, but I will use the word balance in the fact that what I'm saying for me anyway is a reminder to continue to pursue your goals, and do it today, because of the fact that you don't know, tomorrow is not promised. But also
Right.
making sure that we're not ignoring the great things that are happening right now, like today. Like we have kids and spouses and family members and friends and things like that. I've been completely guilty of getting so engrossed in what I'm doing to make a dollar, or 100 zillion dollars. There's more like
Right.
it, right? That it's like, oh, like when's the last time I like took a breath, right? When's
Right.
the last time I hung out with, my family or my friends? And so when this happens, so when you do lose somebody, for me, it's always like I feel like And I don't, you say this like it's not like it's a good thing you lost your friends, but you also like, what can you learn from this? And it's always a smack in the face to me when it happens.
Right.
And
It like
so,
helps you put your current situation into perspective.
right.
Maybe you didn't realize how distant you had become from people. Maybe you didn't realize the important things that you put on the back burner because you made something else more important. It puts things into perspective for you.
And with success does come sacrifice, but you can also, get that piece of paper, which I'm working kind of on a new thing for myself, a new schedule, a new what I'm not willing to do to make money, as well as, okay, then what am I willing to do? And like going through a checklist I've done before and I've gotten away from, um, because when you are, when you go through something like this, which has been a rough week for us, you have to say to yourself, okay, yes, I want more freedom and more time and whatever. And for some of us who are already home full time and are earning, as no one complains, a specific amount of money, I would say that there are certain levels of money where more money isn't going to bring more happiness. Let's
Right.
just say, like, it's not going to change like how happy you are or whatever. Now, I'm not saying that, we shouldn't continue pursue. For me, it's hardly ever really about the money. Even though we talk money, it's like about what the money can do. And the more money you have, the more you can give. Because at some point, you got all the stuff you want. Now, what are
Yeah.
you going to do with it? Right. And so, yeah, but it's still a reminder, like I'm like, no, I'm not going to sacrifice my Saturdays with my 10-year-old, let's say,
Right.
right? Because you can't get that time back, right? So, but for some of you, you may still be working your job. And maybe you're not even intending on quitting your job. That's one of the things Christina and I talk about a lot, is because we're not here to bang on your job. Um, but jobs are necessary and should be respected. I was just thinking about how thankful I am for a lot of the people who are in jobs, who make my life easier, like the garbage man.
Right.
And people, oh, you're a garbage man. Well, I'm thankful for our garbage. We got 2 garbage guys that are regular guys, and I'm thankful for them. Or we take for granted that we switch on the light switch every day. Well, there are people who work in the fields of your electric company that if they weren't there, you wouldn't be having that light switch come on or your gas come on in your furnace or whatever. And so it's like, so we're not here to bang on jobs, but
Right.
if you are like us and your goal is to have that total freedom of choice, and maybe you choose to stay at your job and do all the other things, just remembering to make sure that, for me anyway, that family and your closest, friends and family are taken care of. But also, like, going through a list of things that, like, for me, like, I won't do. You have to sacrifice. There's no question that you have to
And that's
sacrifice, but it could be a lot of other things and not time with loved ones, like things like Netflix. But maybe Netflix is something you do with your spouse or your kid or whatever.
and
So
that's not like sacrifice in just becoming an entrepreneur. If you're working a 9 to 5, you are sacrificing something. So we're not saying to be an entrepreneur, that's the only time you have to sacrifice. When you work a 9 to 5 and you are away from your children, away from your family, when you're doing overtime, when you're going into work, when your kids are sick, those are all sacrifices. So we're not saying it like just entrepreneurs sacrifice things. So don't take it that way. But in every area of your life where you want to see success, there's going to be a give and take situation. There's going to be a situation where sometimes you're going to have to do something that you don't want to do. But what we're saying is try to prioritize those things that are your
exactly.
non-negotiables, right? Like let me see if I can share my screen. I'll show you guys my schedule. My schedule is filled with these pink moments that are non-negotiables, right? I think I zoomed it in way too much, but let's see if I can make it bigger for y'all. There we go. So this is my schedule. This is like 7 days a week for me. Everywhere where you see pink is my me time. If it's pink writing, it's time with me and my son, right? these are like my non-negotiables, like my pink. The greens can fluctuate, the oranges can fluctuate, and so can the teals and the yellows, right? But having this type of structure lets me know, like, it puts my life into perspective where I have time specifically set aside for my son. I have time specifically set aside to like do things for me. And that's important. So while you're working and you're sacrificing and you're trying to achieve your goals and your dreams, don't forget about you and your family and the people that you love and the people that you care about. Because just this thing that we've had happen this week, it punches you, life punches you in the face sometimes. Like, I just met Howie for the first time. Like, I've known him for years. He's like my uncle, right? And just met him, what, 2 months or almost 2 months ago?
It's like, I think it was like a month ago today.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah,
messaged me that was in Phoenix and said that.
yeah. So it's like we've known each other for years, but I got to like physically hug him for the first time a month ago, right? And I know what we're doing on our team right now was significant for him. He was looking forward to it. And just the fact that this is going to be missed now is heart-wrenching to me, and it put things into perspective. Like, check on your friends, like check on your family, say hi to people sometimes, like when you get deeply engrossed and wrapped up. Like, I have time on my schedule specifically for me to not do anything but like send people text messages like, hey, how you doing? How's family? Just to check on people sometimes, because you take it for granted. And we're saying don't try not to take it for granted.
So some of you know who Todd Falcone is, and I've been in his A-team training before. And one of the exercises that he has us do for homework one of the weeks is to call a new person every day that you haven't talked to in a while, and to call them up to tell them what they mean to you. No other agenda than that. And it's like, well, it's a network marketing training, and it's like, how I want to know how to get leads, and it's like, no, like these things, like in last night we did mindset training with Kurt. These things that people think that, just give me the meat and potatoes, right? Give me the how to, give me how am I get more leads to my business? How do I enroll more people? But these exercises, no matter whose training I'm in, right, is always this type of stuff is included. And when Todd, it's like this week and he had other things for us to do too. That was prospecting, but this was call someone every day this week that you haven't talked to in a while, and just to specifically tell them what they mean to you. And that's your only agenda. And, and like the follow-up call that next week was sharing some of our experiences with completing that exercise. And it's like, wow, you know, it's almost was like a life-changing exercise for the week, or a very emotional one,
Like
because
eye-opening.
right, because people are like, you know, it wasn't to get kudos from them or anything. It was heartfelt. I'm calling you. I haven't talked to you for a while. I miss you. You mean this to me in life, because a lot of times we don't say the things we need to say. We might say, I appreciate you and love you and all that, but we don't get down to the deep,
Yeah.
specifics with people. Luckily I come from a family that does hug and say love you a lot and things like that. So, we have that. I don't think I'll ever have that experience where your loved one out the door and you're like, I never said I love you, to them, because we just do that, but not everybody has that in their family. But it's like, but this is a little deeper. It's just like calling somebody just to tell them specifically how they've impacted you and how much you appreciate them. Not a prospecting call at all. And I started thinking, like, once a day for a week, but really it's like, can you just do it once a week or once a month? Like every month, pick up the phone and like reconnect.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, our business is really about connections, and people don't care about your business as far as joining you. People have choices. They don't have to join you. Right. They have other choices. So it's like, what differentiates you from all the other IBOs or distributors affiliates in your company, because they have choices in, whether they know you or not. Your mother, people are like, well, that's my mom, she should enroll with me. My dad enrolled in another team one time from mine because he liked their marketing system over there. They had this like thing they were doing with mail, and it's cool, right? So it's like when you're talking with people, it's about connections, and just doing that exercise helps you strengthen that skill set. And it also helps you remember to be grateful for people, and what they bring into your life. So anyway, this is just kind of where we're at this morning.
Yeah. It's been a long night.
For sure.
But yes, like just plug in with the people around you that because sometimes your friends and your family will let you know they think that you've forgotten about them. So plug in with them. Make it a personal point to like just stay in touch, like intentionally stay in touch and not have it be something like income driven, like.
Yeah. And I feel like, our team that we work with now of people is like such a fantastic group of people. And, for 15 years, I work with a fantastic, amazing group of people that I consider family to this day. And it's, if you can, expose your loved ones, especially the ones, now I'm talking about the people who are in your life daily, bring them to an event, have them also be in the chats, even if they're not participating, so that they can understand why you are on the phone or on a Zoom a little more often than they would like you to be, so they can get that camaraderie and have those feelings too. And that might not be your situation. Maybe your significant other or whatever doesn't want to do that, but being inside of, the chats or the Facebook groups or coming to an event doesn't mean that they have to do the business,
Right.
but they're in business with us too, because that's your loved one, right? I'm not saying you can add all your cousins to the chat if they're not a paying member, but significant others, it's really, really important that we have their support, right? Yeah.
Yep. And
So,
sometimes like they'd be surprised at how much they have in common with people inside of the groups. Because that's a thing for us too. Because just because we talk about the business a lot in our chats and things doesn't mean we don't talk about other stuff. Like we have entire days where it's like squirrel, we got no work done, but this was fun,
everyone just talked about food all night.
Or video games,
Yep.
because we have a bunch of gamers, or like just collectors of things.
Conspiracy theories. I mean, we could give you a crazy list of stuff that gets talked
The
about.
conspiracy theory nights are fun because then you find out how weird your friends are.
Yep. No, and it's fun topics that are off topic. It's not like people fighting over politics and stuff. That's kind of not a topic that we get into, right?
Because politics or religion, ever.
Religion, so that, it's like, because we want to have fun, right? So I just, I've went through, I have a very supportive spouse. He's not jealous. He's so supportive. I mean, but I've been in a relationship in the past, early on in my career, where it was, oh, you're on with your phone friends. So
I'm trying to
get your Zoom friends.
I'm trying to get her husband to do like voiceovers for us. I love his voice. Okay.
Like, I do too. Good thing, since I got to hear it all the time.
I know, right? Like I'm not going to describe what his voice sounds like, because I want him to I want y'all to just be surprised, but I love his voice. Like in my mind, everything should be a voiceover from him.
Yes. He's going to start a streaming business soon, so that's going to be fun for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, and I'm fortunate. I know that is not the case always for you. It may or may not be, but he doesn't participate in the business. I mean, he has some things he does to help people tech side. He's always done that in my business. People need help with their computer. He's always done that for, the time we've been married. But he knows, he's talked to almost every single one of the team now on the phone, helping them with stuff.
Yep.
Helium miners mostly.
So,
yep.
And even your kids too. Like my son knows everybody on the team by voice. he pops his little head in to say hi in chats and stuff. And that's if you guys are, I'm not saying if you keep your children private, because I know some people who do, but if you keep your children private, that's cool. But my son is like a significant part of my life. So I need my team to understand if I'm not around and I'm with my baby, you know why. Like, this is my kid. Hi. And I'm about to go. But it's some days where we were trading like binary options together.
Mm-hmm.
And doing school, like homeschool from like across the living room. And he was like so just tiny jealous that he couldn't get on and trade with us.
That's so
But
funny.
he knew like everybody by voice. Like whenever I'm on a Zoom call, he's like yelling out like, hi, such and such in the background. Because although like he's not in the business, he knows that these are some of my mom's friends. These are people who she spends time with. So me personally, I don't feel like I should separate that. Like he's always here, so.
That reminds me, I have a picture.
You do, he finished it?
Yes, and it's sitting there, and I had to flatten it out, and then I want to find a photo mailer because I don't want to fold it. So I got to get a photo mailer and throw it in the mail. So he's like, "You didn't send that yet, Mom," but they have not met in person. He wanted to make her a picture.
Yeah, like it's other people on our team too. Like I love their babies. They know me by voice. Yeah. Like your children are very, very perceptive little people, or receptive. I don't know which one, but they're one of those words, little people. Okay. And they pick up on things. They know the people who are significant in your life, especially because we live in a very like Zoom teleconference society now. So they hear your friends' voices often. So yeah, your babies will pick up on stuff too. So.
Oh, that sounds like a Facebook call.
It is. It's Manny. But
so yeah, we just wanted to chat today because for me, I didn't feel like going into hardcore and giving you some, these like bullet point lessons this morning. I'm still having, that's the real and the raw of it. Like we're not here to rah you all the time or anything like that. But it just, again, just like a quick reminder, like that today is the only day that's promised, and it's not even promised for the whole day. So it's like you want to do things that you need to do them now, and find that way to the sacrifices that you have to make, trying to not make them be things that, are going to affect your relationships, right? And there is ways to do it. And like one of the things that Christina and I can help you with is putting a schedule together. Most people who come to us have full-time jobs that they're doing, right? And so there is plenty of time to do what you need to do to build an income online and be with your family if you do schedule things in a way that you're being super productive during that time, and then cutting out things that for me to cut out is extra TV. I don't cut out all TV. Christine, I do TV different. She'll watch TV on the weekend. I do like my 40-minute show as a reward, right? At the end of the night. It's sometimes, it's not like, oh, we're going to watch, binge watch Netflix, all day, unless like Christina, like they might do that on Saturday, right?
Yeah, like Saturday is our binge watch day.
Right.
Like Saturdays and Sundays, actually. We watch, we do manifestation on Sunday, but I don't call it manifestation. We watch shows where people are doing home tours of $1 million mansions. And then me and my son sit down and have conversations of the things that we like. Like every time we see a Baja shelf, he knows like I'm about to go nuts for like 5 minutes about Baja shelves. I want one, right? But that's like the manifestation stuff we do on Sunday. So that'll be like all day. We'll just watch stuff like that and cook, like meal prep for the weekend stuff. But on Saturdays, our bedtime is scheduled at 3 a.m. And it's because when we're done, like on Friday, he's getting out of school. So when he finally settles in, we get some food cooked. We're done with because we have class Friday night. So when I'm done with class, it's like we pick a show on Netflix and we go like until we finish. So Friday night to Saturday at 3 a.m. is our like TV time, like just for me and him to sit down, no interruptions. He's not allowed to have his phone out. I'm not allowed to have mine out. We put him in front of the TV. So if somebody important calls, we know, but that's like our time. And it's because y'all just seen like a quick glimpse of my schedule. I have a very tight schedule during the week. So I like to have specific time for me and my baby. But yeah,
Yeah, and I think you make
I
a
have
good
no
point
time.
too. Like there are things that you can watch that might be fun to watch. For me, it's tiny houses and RV stuff, and I watch it
Oh
with Junior
yeah.
because I want a tiny house on a big old piece of land. And the tiny house stuff is interesting because I like find all these ways to like get all these cubby storages in
Maximize
there,
space.
and right, it's just like yeah. So and then Junior, like he likes the idea of a house on wheels, right? Because it's cool, right? He's 10.
For those of you who don't know, I absolutely love this about Christy. She wants a small house, but a very big pool.
I want a big pool. Yep. And I want a big, like, outside area. But for me, because I don't like to be outside, I want it all glassed over so I can feel like I'm outside. Because I like the scenery of outside, but I don't like to be outside. I really don't.
So you
So
could do like a biodome.
exactly. So, and this is the type of stuff I'm talking about, guys, like visualizing things that like the most for me, my whole setup would look absolutely ridiculous to someone else and maybe it wouldn't be resellable, but it's good.
No,
That's what
like
we're working on right now. Right now
biodomes would be dope.
we're looking for a piece of land that
Yeah.
like it's starting. Right. Yep.
I think that would be so dope. Like have because it's enclosed, but it's outdoors.
Right.
Like,
And we could sit out there in the winter
yep.
because we're up in the Midwest too and still be warm, but feel like we're outside. I thought of this after, and so I haven't talked to you about this yet. After you were talking about how you want all this big, huge outdoor area because you like to be outside, and I was like, I like the scenery because I like our big picture window. We see this. We're on the second floor. Our living room's on the second floor. It's weird in our house, but we see all the squirrels and everything, right? Squirrels
Yeah.
running around. But I'm like, oh, I could do that too, but I don't like to be outside because of my allergies and everything. So I could just glass it over because I can. That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's like you can do that's what comes back to the freedom thing. It's not about the money. It's like it's about what you can do with it and live your best life, you know?
Right.
So yeah. You coming over to my house in a winter and then you go over to Christine's house in the summer. Because you can, we'll have the indoor pool and the indoor dome thing going on.
Listen, I'm excited.
So
But yes, that's our squirrel for the day. We have a tendency to do that here.
see how it like we started talking about one thing and ended up talking about something else, but that is the show for today. I hope that, I hope you got something from it, something
Right.
resonated with you. It helped you, in some way, inspired you to take a look at what's ever going on in your business. And another day when we're not, so emotional, we'll talk about how to schedule things so that I've already decided I'm back down to a 4-day work week only during the day, period. And I've
Mhm.
done it before. And the reason that I, this all like, this like yesterday was icing on the cake for me. I was already like, because the less I worked back in the day when I was in network marketing and now I'm back, the more money I made, but it was not because I was lazy, because the more things I automated,
Yep.
the more money I made and I could scale back. But it also like when I got a schedule going where it was like, I'm going to be with family on these days, I need a day that is not mine and not family's or works, which I'm probably going to do Wednesdays. But the thing is that when you do these things with intent, the times you do work, you got to put it in.
Yeah.
Like it can't be, while I checked my email for an hour, that don't count.
Right. And like Christy said, like her reward for her work is her watching TV in the evening. My reward is like getting stuff done throughout the week and then not doing stuff and like intentionally having time to do whatever I feel like doing on the
Right.
week.
Not this schedule. Like I have to, we're
Right.
going to go to the movies from 1 to 3 and from 3 to 5, we're going to go down to,
Right.
the restaurant. Like you're going to do whatever you want on the weekend. Right.
Exactly.
And one of my mentors, he absolutely does not work weekends. And he says he doesn't work weekends, but I also noticed he doesn't say it, but I noticed I never see him at night either. And it's like you decide Nobody else can decide for you what your schedule is. You can decide, and all schedules work if you put the work in during the time it's supposed to be done
Yep.
consistently, right? If you got a full-time job and you can only do 90 minutes a day, then you make them 90 minutes count, and you might get more done in 90 minutes than someone else who's at home. They got all day because they don't make it that 90 minutes a priority.
Yep.
So that's like just something that, like I said, we can help you with, and we can do some trainings on for you as well.
Yep.
So here we go
As well
again.
as setting the alarms in your phone.
It's a thing.
It's important.
I did not set my alarm. We have our first Monday and I wasn't there because I did not set my alarm. I got caught up doing something else, and then I looked and it was 6:20, and for me it's 6:00. I was like, oh, bleep.
It's okay though. But so just so you guys know, like a friendly reminder, we'll be doing the live Pips for Brunch podcast Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 10 a.m. We do have something else in our schedule on Monday for you guys. That is going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have you guys come on and we're going to chat with you about some of the things that we do. If you're inside of our team, if you have signed up, and we will be mentoring you, we're going to have something separate for you guys on Friday. So we will still be doing things throughout the week, like inside of the Pip Sisters for you guys, but the podcast is going to be only Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So don't freak out if you don't see us on Monday and Friday.
And if you ever don't see us come on live, it's because something else was happening, and you will be able to still catch it on YouTube recorded.
Right. We typically do it. We try to do a very good job of recording the content and putting it up on YouTube on the days or times that we know we're not going to be available at our normal time. Mm-hmm. So we still try to make sure we get the content out for you. It just may not be live. Yep.
Because stuff happens and we're not going to sit there and stress about it.
No, like we have lives and babies and stuff like that. So we're still going to get the content out. Just it'll be broadcast a little different.
Yep. I had to put that out there because I had a couple of people reach out to me. I was worried about you too. Go to the YouTube channel and check it. Just if that happens again, check it on the YouTube channel.
Right, because we are on episode 38 today. Is episode 38?
Amazing.
Yep. So you can catch all of the episodes, the recordings at the Pip Sisters on YouTube.
I'm going there right now.
You know what? Me too.
I'm going to watch.
See you guys.
Bye.